Guys, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I think Hollywood might finally be realising that if they hire good filmmakers, they can make good movies. Annabelle Creation. So Annabelle Creation is the prequel to Annabelle, which was the prequel to Conjuring. I know already it's slightly confusing. In this movie we get to see how Annabelle was actually created and the hauntings that she caused before the Conjuring. It follows two parents who 12 years ago tragically lost their daughter in an accident, and now they've taken it upon themselves to open their house up to a group of orphaned girls, who while all staying there, one of them finds the Annabelle doll and then scary shit starts happening. Well, that's the basic plot of the movie. I don't want to give too much away because the trailer doesn't reveal everything itself. The trailer does spoil a lot of the jump scares in this film and a lot of the main second and third acts, so if you can, do try to avoid the trailer because it does show a lot of the more scarier scenes in the film, but story wise it don't give too much away, which I thought was really good. And before I get into this review, I would just like to say that the first Annabelle movie I hated that movie. It was not scary, it was shit, it made no sense. I did not like a single thing about that film. So when this movie was announced, I was very skeptical. I wasn't that excited about going into it. But I saw the trailer and the director behind it, who was the same person who directed Lights Out. So my faith built up a little bit there, but not so much. But then I started hearing the reviews for it and people were comparing it to Ouija Origin of Evil, which I loved. And so my excitement built up a lot more from there. And after seeing the film, I have to say, this movie was great. It was so good, in fact. It was far, far better than the shitty first one we got. Which is why, as my intro stated, I feel like Hollywood are finally realising if they hire good filmmakers, they can make good films. And a lot of the horror in this movie is genuinely terrifying. The director does a fantastic job of building the suspense up in every scene. Granted, there are jump scares here and there, which you've come to expect in horror movies these days, but he does do a very good job of holding that tension for a good while before the jump scare happens, making it more suspenseful. There's a lot of stuff happening in the background, a lot of things that you see out of the corner of your eye, and it genuinely gets under your skin. It sends chills down your spine, which to me makes for a much better cinema experience, especially when going to see a horror, because you want to be scared, you want to be put on edge, and the director did a good job of doing that in this movie. The cinematography as well for this film was really good, as was the acting. Everyone in this movie gave a really good performance. First off, the father, played by Anthony LaPaglia, I believe is how you pronounce his name, he was really good. He's had a lot of pain behind his eyes because the children don't know the thing that happened to him 12 years ago. You can also see a lot of guilt and heartbreak hiding behind his eyes, and he did a very good job portraying that through his character. You felt for his character, you actually cared about him. Miranda Otto, I believe is how you pronounce her name, she plays his wife in this movie. You don't really see much of her in the movie, but the bits that she is in, she gives a good performance. You've also got the young girls in this movie. The main one played by Talitha Bateman. Again, I hope that's how you pronounce her name. She was actually really good in this film as well. She did a very convincing job of playing her character, who also has a bit of a disability. She's got this like Forrest Gump leg brace type thing on. And that actually made for some very unique scares throughout this entire film, and she played off the horror aspects of it really well. She didn't overact in any way, so it was ridiculous. She gave a very good performance. As did Lulu Wilson, who you may recognise from Ouija Origin of Evil. She's pretty much saved two movie horror franchises here, and I really liked her in Origin of Evil, so I was very excited to see her in this, and again, she gives a very good performance. She didn't overact in any way, it's not over the top. She was very good in this film, as were most of the young actors in this movie. Don't get me wrong, the movie's not going to win any Oscars or anything like that, but the acting is good enough that you actually feel for these characters when they're in terrifying situations. And looking away from the horror aspects that this film brings, the story itself is actually very interesting as well. They did a really good job of fleshing out how Annabelle became Annabelle. It kept you intrigued into what was going on, so when something scary did happen, you were paying attention, you weren't just bored expecting another jump scare. No false jump scares in this movie as well, which is absolutely fantastic. No birds flying up into people's faces or anything like that. It was great. My issues with the movie is the ending. I felt definitely dragged on, and the first half is pretty slow. The second half is definitely where the movie picks up in the horror aspect of it, and the first part of the third act. As the movie continued after that first half in the third act, I feel like it was dragging itself out a lot longer than it should have. And I may not like the first Annabelle movie, but I can say that this film does a very good job of tying into what happens in that one. My other final issue as well with this movie is the CGI that they do use in this movie. Although very little, it is very, very noticeable, and it did draw me out of the movie just that little bit when I saw it. No spoilers, but there's a scene where someone's getting their fingers broken, literally just bent back, and it looked ridiculously funny to me. And so because of that, it did take me out of the movie, but overall, this movie was great. I was pleasantly surprised by this film. It was scary, it sent chills down my spine, it kept me on edge. It did everything a horror movie was supposed to do, and although the ending dragged on just a little bit, the performances were absolutely fantastic. I was genuinely on edge when I left the cinema. I do highly recommend checking this movie out. If you did see the first Annabelle and you didn't like it, this movie is far, far better than that piece of shite. And so for all of that, I'm going to give Annabelle Creation 4 stars. So, Annabelle Creation, have you guys seen it yet? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks as always for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching, you guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.